Hello everyone, I'm Vikramaditya and welcome to Jade Softech. In this session, we're going to discuss about ERP and also about a little bit about SAP at the end. And this would be ideal for those who are starting their career in SAP or any other ERP technology, as well as those who would like to upgrade themselves to the latest innovations that are happening at the ERP level. Okay, so let's get started and yeah. Before we move on, let's understand ERP from a very generic perspective. Now, I'm giving you an example of a car. What exactly is a car? Car is a concept. And who can manufacture it? Anyone can manufacture it, provided it should have the basic features of a car. And BMW is one of the organizations who manufacture a lot of cars, a lot of car models, in which X7 is one of them. Similarly, when we get into the ERP, ERP is just a concept like car is a concept. Now, just like we cannot call every other automobile as a car, we cannot call every other software as an ERP. It should have some basic features. And what are they is what we are going to look at right now. And SAP is one organization very popular in providing ERP solutions to the organizations. And Oracle also into it. And we have got Fusion ERP, which is based on cloud. And we have got ERP, Microsoft Dynamics 365, which is also based on cloud. So let's look more in detail about all these technologies in detail. Either you're starting your career in SAP or Microsoft Dynamics or Oracle ERP solutions. This would be the basic for you all to understand about ERP. So in this session, we are going to look at the introduction to ERP. What exactly is ERP, the definition of it, the business process management and automation, introduction to the integrated enterprise, evolution of ERP, significance of the ERP in today's business scenario, key challenges of ERP, and then we are going to look at the ERP functions and benefits, listing of ERP functions and benefits, case study on discussion of how ERP is used in an enterprise, and ERP modules like core modules in an ERP, the extended enterprise and ERP modules, analytics and business intelligence in ERP, integration of ERP with other business applications. Okay, so in this business process management, the concept of maintaining all the data and doing the business with the help of documentation on the books was being reduced. I mean, like, it's not something which was completely drastically reduced, but organizations, or especially the huge organizations, were trying to shift from maintaining everything in the hard copies of books to automated process of computers. That's what started, started off in the 1970s. And then there were challenges at the beginning level of what exactly we started off as a business process management. So the major problem was integration. When we were developing solutions for individual departments or individual resources, we had a integration issue. So what exactly is integration and how it works is something which we need to understand more in detail in the coming sessions. Now here we have got the evolution of ERP. Initially in 1960s, there was a concept called MRP, Material Resource Planning, or Material Resource Planning is something which was quite popular at the time, which was basically organizing the entire manufacturing area of that enterprises. Now then it became quite popular in 1990s. People thought that there is a need of integrating other departments as well, for example like the finance department, human resources, which was actually not a part of the material resource planning. That's how ERP concept was started. And in fact, like the ERP concept was initially started off by SAP, an organization called SAP, in 1970s itself. But in 1990s, it caught the eye of a lot of huge organizations. And 2000, early 2000s, there was in 1990s, in late 1990s, we had a revolution of internet. So it carried forward, and people started using more of internet into the ERP sector, wherein like we can access particular data of the ERPs in from the browsers, and in fact, like also update the data from the browsers into the ERP software. So something sort of that kind of things started happening in 2000. And then 2010, more of cloud came into picture. Like today, cloud is doing a lot of technologies. Even in ERP also, people started using the cloud solutions, and we are maintaining the maintaining all the business on a software which is based on cloud. So there can be we will come back to that part of cloud more in detail in the coming sessions, wherein we are going to discuss about the IaaS, PaaS, SaaS and differences, and what are the things that are being used in our ERPs. When it comes to integration part, we have got integration is very important. Integration simply means the unifying process across the business from one single enterprise foundation. Okay, and we are focusing on a particular scenario wherein each department is placed in a different geographical location. Not only that, it is also using a different technology to maintain and automate the process. In such cases, it will be very difficult to integrate everything into one place. Now, the finance department should update these details in the account records with an increase in the assets and increase in liabilities. Now, we have got scenario wherein we have a single database, and all the application servers are linked to the database, and then in turn all the departments are linked to this application servers. So technically, what exactly is a database server, application server, and these all surrounded departments are referred to as presentation server. We'll discuss that technically later point of time, but as of now, this is something which will be happening in the ERP. Now, enterprise resource planning, we've got all the integrations we have got, and other than the integrations, we have security, productivity, collaboration, mobility and flexibility, streamlining all the process, competition, moving ahead of the competition, fostering growth, integrated information system, and saving a lot of money and resources as well, and providing a better customer service, forecasting the reporting. These all are possible when we go ahead and implement the ERP solution. Now we have got significance of ERP in today's business scenario is like it's a real need exists, proof of business value and operational excellence. We can clearly see if an organization is implementing ERP, the business growth and the difference between the ace of doing the business in the past and now it drastically changes. And we have got the shorter cycles, lesser total cost, faster return on investment, modular pricing and new pricing schemes. Then it can also facilitate data integrity, transaction processing and reporting. Now, gateway to other enterprise applications like ERP can integrate with supply chain management, customer relationship management, business intelligence, product development management, and product lifecycle management, all ride on ERP. So ERP forms like a heart of these all applications. Now, significance of ERP in today's business scenario: companies that consolidate their ERP stacks and implement consistent data definitions can reduce operating costs by nearly 25%. There are some clients who observed even more than 50% of the cost cutting. And organizations that embrace consistent data and technology standards can reduce the cost of their finance operations by up to 23%, because we got a more visibility on the finance, and also we can establish the controlling part as well very efficiently and reduce the costs. Organizations no longer embrace information systems for competitive advantage. as a means to differentiate themselves from their competitors. Instead, they do IT because it's a competitive necessary. Now, companies which have embraced ERP typically spend 31% less than their peers on finance, complete their monthly financial reports more quickly, and operate with about one half the staff. Okay, even the human resources has been reduced, optimized. So, world class finance organizations have also embraced simplicity in other forms. Such companies rely on a single chart of accounts, use half the bank accounts of typical companies, and do fewer budget iterations. Now, what are the challenges of working with ERP? So, an ERP solution, when we are working out which processes need to be integrated, this is something which we have as a challenge. Understanding of the business process and needs. So, integration in the sense like when we are talking about other applications which are there in the organization already. So, an adequate consultation, communication, and training is required. Availability of key business process owners during blueprint phase and testing phase is very important. Customization can be done in ERP, but then again, it will take time for customization according to the client. And change management, managing resistance to a change is something which quickly changes cannot happen. It will take some time. Data migration, data security, total cost of ownership. Total cost of ownership is obviously higher in case of ERP because it's an integrated system, so it would cost high. So here we have all these challenges when we are implementing ERP. And then we're looking at the ERP functions and benefits. So key benefits of ERP and case study. Well, let's look at a case study and how is ERP used in organization and real life examples as well. Now, what are the key benefits of ERP? The benefits, these are all the benefits. Let's talk about each one of them. Transparency. You mean you can see the data which has been updated with by one department in another department. That's what is transparency, and you can always have a clarity on what's happening in the organization or what's happening at what level. And real time accurate data, because if you're updating some data on in one department, other department can easily see it, provided they have the security to see that or security access to see that. And digitized automated process, so you don't have to actually redo or re-enter all the data which is there already been there entered by one department. It can be accessed by other departments as well. Now, standard business processes, like if you can go ahead with the standard business process, like let's say you have configured that a finance deal in which you are doing a payment of more than $100 has to have two levels of approvals. This is a standard process, so no one can issue a check by just bypassing or crossing this process. So we are making a standard business process. And improved collaboration, so basically different departments might be doing different works. So normally what happens is in a disintegrated system, the communication becomes a serious issue. But here we can have improved collaboration and increased productivity. Obviously, the whether it might be if it's an manufacturing company, the productivity is increased. The manufacturing process is optimized. If you are a service based company, also we can have the increased productivity. Inventory control, you can have a proper inventory control, like what raw materials are been coming and how many raw materials are been still available for the manufacturing. And these all things happens to be something very important at the manufacturing level. So then you have got the improved supply chain. So overall the supply chain is also improved because we know what's happening at what level, and it's all integrated, right? So easy business reporting, you can pull out the reporting, you can just see how much that we have spent this month, how much we have received this month. All these reports can be easily seen, it can be easily pulled out because everything is a single system. Then the key performance indicators measure performance, and we can easily see the performance whether it is increasing, decreasing. and reduced operating costs. Overall, the cost would be definitely reduced, and even the time also is optimized. Less time for all the activities that we are doing, and then also the kind of um, the costs, the human resources that are required, and the time, all these are optimized. Then we have got the speed and competitive edge. So it's very fast. So it will always have a competitive edge on the on the competitors. Now the key benefits of ERP: deriving value, obtain a 360-degree view of the business through a single repository of information, standardize business practices for greater control, automate the link process for time-layer decision making, monitor business processes and respond with agility, understand the business better and with flexible cost modeling, assign areas of business responsibility to individuals, plan and analyze based on business process flows, gain consensus among stakeholders. These are all the things which are the benefits of ERP. And then we have got the stage to like automate variance identifications, evaluate performance drivers, leverage portals for timely business updates, establish tight integration among business plans. And then we have got link strategy to action by placing the key performance indicators, model the entire business for stronger opportunity analysis. These are all the things that we have the advantages of ERP. Now, let's see the focus. Let's focus on the ERP modules, like core modules in ERP, the extended enterprise and the ERP modules, analytics and business intelligence in ERP, integration of so SAP FICO deals with the finance and controlling, SAP HCM human capital management, and then we have Material Management, sales and distribution SD, and WM warehouse management, SEM supply chain management. So a lot of different solutions for enterprises are here on the screen. What we have in the blue color here are all part of the ERP, and the yellow one is something which is added in the recent times. And these are all the different applications that we can imbibe into SAP. Now we have got human resources is a part of ERP technology, but then we have got latest cloud solutions which are being integrated into ERP technology right now. So if you see SAP is one of the organizations which is very famous for ERP. In fact, the highest turnover in ERP solutions is by SAP. SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. Just in case if you are getting into any other ERP, Oracle's ERP or Microsoft's ERP, that is Dynamics 365, then it would be slightly different from here, because I'd be touching base with SAP as well as Oracle applications, both, and you can probably correlate that with the same thing with the other ERPs as well. It will be more or less the same. Now in this, like, we have got the core modules. The core modules, as I was telling you, the finance, material management, human capital management, and warehouse management. These all happens to be very key areas. But then we have got more in detailed other new technologies that have come into picture because of the requirement and demand of the business. So you can see here that we have a lot of things that we have. Let's say if we start off with financials, what exactly we deal in the financials is financial supply chain management, financial accounting, management accounting, corporate governance. These all are part of financials. Human capital management, we have got the talent management, workforce process management, workforce deployment. These all are part of the human capital management. These happens to be the subtopics in it. If we go for analytics, we have got strategic enterprise management, financial analytics, operations analytics, workforce analytics. These all happens to be submodules of analytics. Coming to the procurement and logistics, we have procurement, supplier collaboration, inventory and warehouse management, inbound and outbound logistics, transportation management. These all are part of procurement and logistics execution. And product development and manufacturing, we have production planning, manufacturing execution, enterprise asset management, product development, lifecycle data management. In sales and services, we have got the sales order management, aftermarket sales and services, professional service delivery, global trade services, incentive and commission management happens to be the submodules of sales and services. In corporate services, we have got the real estate management, project portfolio management, travel management, environment, health and safety, and quality and management. Now, when we look at the extended enterprises and ERP modules, as I was telling you, ERP has some core modules which we have discussed, but additionally there are a lot of modules which have been extended in the due course of time, mainly because of the requirement of the business. Those happens to be the customer relationship management CRM, and then we have the project lifecycle management PLM, product data management PDM, supply chain management SCM, mining data, e-procurement and e-commerce tools that we have integrated with ERP, integration requirements and cybersecurity. These are all part of the latest extended modules. And when it comes to the extended modules and the core modules, if you correlate them, now SAP S4 HANA is an advanced solution by SAP for various enterprises. Now SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management includes all the core modules like finance, HR, and SCM, material management, and sales. These all. Having said that, there are a lot of tools that have been acquired by SAP in the recent times, which are also made as a part of this extended enterprise and ERP solutions. Like, for example, for finance, we have SAP has acquired a company called Concur, and it also acquired a company called Ariba, and now they are a part of finance. Then we have got the HR, we have got SuccessFactors and Fieldglass. They complement already existing human capital management solution in the standard application. Then we have got the sourcing and procurement. SAP acquired Ariba, Fieldglass, and Concur, which happens to be a part of sourcing and procurement. It actually complements that service as well. So supply chain manufacturing also, we have a couple of things coming very soon. We have recently SAP has acquired a lot of organizations which are based on cloud, and it will be soon covered in the next session. And for marketing, SAP acquired Hybris. Sales, we again have the Hybris service. Also, we have Hybris been integrated into this standard solution. Now, coming to the extended enterprise and ERP modules, if we look at various tools that we have, if it comes to the ERP solutions, we've got a lot of other things which had been made a part of or integrated with the standard ERP. When I'm talking about the Oracle, so in Oracle ERP solution, we have got complete solution is on cloud, and it's integrated with e-business suites, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, third-party tools, as well as with Salesforce or any other third-party tool also can be integrated into it. So the new generation of ERP systems, we have got the infrastructure, technology, applications, and business process layers. So infrastructure, we have got the SAP data center or hyperscaler solution provided by SAP. Then technology is business technology platform, which happens to be a recent revolution in SAP. We're going to talk more about that in the coming sessions. Application intelligence suite, we have got the industry cloud at the application level, and then we have got the business process intelligence. And then we have the business process network, which actually covers all the front-end tools. And business technology platform, I've made many sessions on it. You can go through that, and you can also contact for one-to-one sessions. The new generation of ERP systems is based out of the cloud platform, and when it comes to the SAP in specific, we have the cloud platform integration, which enables us to integrate about all the various latest technologies that we have, like cloud applications, mobile applications, social network, public authorities, business partners. All these are integrated through the SAP cloud platform integration. When it comes to the Oracle, we have Oracle on-premise and cloud. Similar to that in SAP, also we have on-premise solutions. All the previous old solutions were all on-premise. Now the cloud is very much popular, in almost all the technologies. Similarly, Oracle also, we have got the Oracle Cloud, which is a combination of lot of technologies which have been imbibed into Oracle SAS application, wherein like Oracle Integration Cloud Service integrates that with the on-premise. Uh, and we have got Oracle Fusion right now, Talio, Big Machines, Responses, Aqua, all these are now a part of the Oracle Cloud solution. Of course, it can integrate with any of the on-premise solutions like Oracle applications or SAP ERP and stuff like that. So we have got in the new generation of ERP, the connected enterprise, we have got the real world objects are being directly being handled the best way possible with the technologies in the backend. So what we are trying to do here is that without changing the business model or going with the business requirement, we are kind of manipulating the backend technology. We have cloud to cloud, on premise, hybrid, various solutions that we have offerings which actually takes care of the business process. And then in the backend, if you see, like we have got various databases which are being supported now. And of course the user, the end user can connect with the technology, I mean like the service with chatbots or from mobile phones, laptops, tabs, and any such device we can interact with the database. So integration approaches, we have point to point, customer application or adapters, enterprise service bus, integration platform as a service. These all things we are going to discuss in detail. Now, what is point to point integration? So point to point integration is something where we have from system A to system B to system C, something like this. This will be, so in this kind of a complicated scenario, one would get into a trouble situation as to which integration is going to which point. So now to solve this issue, we have centralized applications. Even here we have one single API which actually is connecting to various different devices and very different applications. When it comes to the more focused enterprise service bus, we have this enterprise service bus, which are relatively newer modern approach to ERP integration. And these enterprise service bus operates as a middle abstraction layer, or we call it as middleware, and as such reduces dependencies by decoupling the ERP systems from other applications. So this approach supports a wider array of data formats, including web-based protocols and Excels in companies that require real-time transitions. Now, integration platform as a service, we all know about IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. I'm going to discuss more in detail about that. I think I already discussed that in another session. You can just go through that. And now, when we get into the integration, integration platform as a service, it's capable of connecting the on-premise and cloud systems with ACE, and it brings into one platform all these things and make a business impact. Now, in the integration platform as a service platform have many benefits. Like they typically require no coding, are designed to connect ERP systems to the software as a service products, and are flexible and inexpensive. Since the on-premise hardware on-premise needs hardware, this ISPs will be doing it without it. Now, when it comes to ERP vendors and packages, the most famous, as I was telling you, are SAP, Oracle, and Microsoft. Oracle and Microsoft joined the race lately, but then still, because they are very strong in other applications, they are yet to maintain their hold on various ERP applications. Coming to SAP, SAP's main focus is ERP softwares always from the beginning, and it still holds the first place in terms of revenue in ERP technologies. Now, when it comes to SAP in specific, SAP is an organization which is a leading ERP solution company, which was started in 1970s, to be specific, 1972, and they launched something called real-time software, which is now referred to as R1. And in 1980s, R2 was there, real-time 2-tier. In 1990s, they launched real-time 3-tier. Then in 2000, they have launched My SAP ERP, which was more integrated with internet. And then we have got a lot of business suites that have been launched, but the game changer was the S4 HANA, which actually was been launched in 2004, 2014 and 15 time, and it was quite popular. And S4 HANA offers the client to either go for on-premise or cloud offering. Now, when it comes to SAP, we have got a lot of solutions which SAP provides to organizations. And in this, as I told you, the primary one would be ERP. That's cloud ERP we have. Now we have got intelligent ERP. The intelligent ERP which we are right now working on in SAP is highly advanced and integrated with artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, and deep learning. These all are integrated into the SAP solution, and also the robotics. So latest technologies are all being imbibed into the SAP Intelligent ERP, which is very successful as well. Other than that, the most important thing that we are going to discuss down the line in the sessions is about the business technology platform, how it impacted the entire scenario. Bringing all the technologies into one platform was the main intention of BTP, and it was quite successful in its agenda. Now, coming to the Oracle, we have got a lot of applications like ERP applications, supply chain management, and customer experience, human capital management. But coming to the ERP, we have got a combination of a lot of applications like e-business suite, PeopleSoft, Siebel, JD Edwards. These were all actually independent companies in the past, but now they are all integrated. Now, let's look at the chapter 5 on ERP deployment methodologies. So we all know that right now we have an option of going ahead with the cloud, and for just like for all the other applications that we are using in the software, ERPs also can be deployed on premise, on cloud, or hybrid deployment. So these are the three different deployments that we can have. Let's look at them in detail. Now, on-premise is something where the infrastructure, all the hardware has to be purchased by the client, and we and need to install the database in it, and then on top of it install the software. When it comes to the cloud, in cloud again we have various ways of taking the cloud into our use in the project. Like if you're taking a cloud as an infrastructure as a service, we'll just get a space and we need to install the database and software on it. And then we have got the hybrid, wherein it's a combination of on-premise and cloud. So this is specifically when a client does not want to compromise with the security of the system. For example, like let's say the finance department data, they want to maintain it on-premise, and whereas the sales part or connecting with the customer should be on cloud. So it can be like that. It can be a combination of both, and making the best use of both the technologies. When it comes to the cloud, SAP S4HANA Cloud, as I was telling you about the infrastructure as a service, then we've got the platform as a service and software as a service. And in S4HANA, we have all of them in various levels. So on-premise ERP system generally gives a company a room to customize our solutions. And it's important to companies in specified industries like certain types of manufacturing to manage their unique processes. Organizations find ERP solutions on-premise more suitable for the reasons that it puts more control in the hands of the organization, but and up to and including the security of its data. And the drawbacks would be that this can limit access to the server, and technologies like mobile ERP can pose an issue for on-premise deployments, and often requires the third-party clients to communicate with mobile devices. So the advantages of going ahead with the on-premise is reduce the initial price of the system. Data security is in hands of the organization, greater ability to customize. And we've got the organization has more control over the implementation process. Whereas the drawbacks of it would be that upfront investment can be seen as a risk. Basically, there's a huge investment that is involved at the beginning of the project. Data security is in hands of the organization, so due to high governance and security protocol, so some organizations may not have the resources. The implementation process can take significantly longer time. So these are the drawbacks of on-premise. Then we have got the cloud. Cloud ERP is something which is very successful in the recent time, and we have SaaS right now. So initially it was started as a IaaS, PaaS, and now we have got ERP as SaaS. So that is software as a service. It's hosted and managed on an offsite server. So typically managed by ERP vendor or hosting vendor. If you rent the server, so basically when we take the example of SAP has its own cloud server, and we can also maintain it in the Amazon Web Services or in the Microsoft Azure. It can be maintained there, the database, and on top of it the software can work on it. So it's just like the software is taken care by the SAP themselves, and database can be of the client's choice, AWS or Azure or SAP's own cloud server. Then it automatically, the one of the biggest advantage of going ahead with the cloud is that updates are automatically happening. So let's say you log in into a particular website today, and you have a particular look and feel, and tomorrow you log in, you'll have a different look and feel, and it all is because it's online. It can be updated in the backend. So that's what happens with SAP's SAS tool as well. SAS offering gets updates automatically. This can give us an edge with our competitors by for you. So the advantages of going ahead with the cloud deployment would be data security is is in the hands of the vendor. This means ERP vendors like Microsoft, SAP, or different technologies. But having said that, there is more security for the data that we have, and offers great stability. Organizations can work with vendors to see what changes can be made. Typically, less time to implement and faster time to give to go live with the system, and predictable costs over time that can be changed based on the on our requirements. And the drawbacks would be like may end up spending more money throughout the system life cycle. It's like initial investment is very low, but the maintenance in the long time might be larger or bigger than what we have in on-premise. Definitely it's bigger, but it should always be something which has to be a balance. And suddenly if the vendor grows increases the maintenance cost to a very high rocket price, then we are forced to pay that. So we'll not have any choice. So data security is in the hands of the vendor. That's something which is a drawback, and less customizable. And if you're having a customization, you might need to continuously update those in the system. The hybrid model, as I told you, is more useful, or it can be done in such a situation where a part of the system or the part of the business is has to be maintained on premise, and a part of it in on hybrid or on cloud. So the reason is like, yeah, various reasons, like as I was telling you an example of like the customer wants to maintain the confidential data in the finance department in a on premise, and then they want to go ahead with and interact with the customers and vendors from the cloud. So these are the kind of situations where we'll go for hybrid. Major advantages of going ahead with a hybrid deployment would be the flexibility of choosing where data will be stored, whether on cloud or on premise. And the organization's workload is contained within a private cloud while retaining the ability to spontaneously increase their workload and perform the spikes of usage on the public cloud. So get a certain centralized private infrastructure on premise workloads, get on-premise computational efficiency, which ensures maximum workload management. Now, the drawbacks would be the initial deploying cost of a hybrid is very high because you have to implement the on-premise as well as the cloud. Some organizations don't prefer to store data at an office site location and will make the hybrid cloud environment inaccessible to public cloud. So, if not picked correctly, cloud compatibility can become a real nuisance for hybrid environments. And a fast performing on premise infrastructure may not be successfully performed in coherence with a slow performing public infrastructure, resulting in a sluggish performance in the hybrid cloud. So these happens to be a few of the drawbacks of the hybrid cloud. Now coming to the most important concept of ERP implementation. So how do we implement a ERP project? Just like we have a methodology for everything, there is a process for whatever we do in our life. Whether you cook, whether you day-to-day activities of your life are aligned with a particular timetable or roadmap. So similarly, an ERP implementation also has a roadmap which is called the implementation process. So ERP implementation lifecycle is more or less similar in almost all the different technologies that we have, like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, with a different terminology and different naming conventions. So let's look at the broader perspective of implementation lifecycle, and then we have to fine tune that to the kind of implementation methodology that we are following in the project. So if we look at the ERP implementation lifecycle, I'm going for generic one. Generic implementation lifecycle would be the project preparation, blueprint realization, final preparation, go live, and support. These are exactly what we call them in the ASAP methodology, accelerated SAP methodology. But then for S4 HANA cloud implementation and the for greenfield projects and brownfield projects, we are now preferring the activate methodology, which again has a different terminology, but it's more or less the same process with slight changes and the introduction of agile methodology, which I'm going to talk about that in detail later. Oracle has AIM implementation methodology where we have the definition, operation analysis, solution design, build, transition, and production. These are the phases of the implementation methodology and various steps that we have here, which needs to be done at a different phase. Now, the phases will be the definition, operation analysis, solution design, production, transition, build. And we are going to discuss about more in detail about these things in the coming sessions. And AIM is quite popular with Oracle ERP. Then we have got this steering committee and all. Okay, so these are the various roles and responsibilities that we'll be having in the ERP implementation project, like starting with the functional or technical consultants, change management individuals team, subject matter experts who are actually more in having high experience in the domains, respective domains. For example, like SAP FICO is a functional SAP FICO functional consultant would be there, but subject matter expert is someone who is worked in finance department for quite long time, maybe 5 to 10 years. They are considered as subject matter experts. And functional experts, key users are of ERP. So project managers, senior management, senior project managers. This is the hierarchy of a project. We have these and the various roles and responsibilities that we have for each role is something which we are going to discuss in the next session. And yeah, so these all concepts we'll be discussing in the next coming session, wherein we are going to discuss in detail about the project implementation roles and responsibilities. These are other generic implementation methodologies like waterfall implementation and agile implementation. Agile implementation is being adopted by the Activate methodology in the SAP's area. Here, what we see on the screen are the different phases of Activate methodology, which is the recent addition by SAP. It's been quite some time now that we are using Activate methodology, and the phases in Activate methodology would be discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and run. And we're going to discuss about this methodology also in detail in the coming sessions. And do subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet done it, and share it with your friends. It might help everyone. And make sure you share this knowledge to as many people as possible. Thank you. Have a great day ahead. Bye.